Hello and welcome to the Southern View. Over the next 60 minutes, like it's been for the last 24 hours, we'll focus on the twists and turns of Karnataka politics. Namaskaram, namaskara, baunara, nalla irkingla as always. Let's start with a bit of breaking news. Call this the Twitter war or the Twitter response, a cryptic response on Twitter or X as it's called now, from Siddaramaiah to a comment some would construe was made by DK Shivakumar about word being the soul of the power that's there. Siddaramaiah in a post on X has said a word is not power unless it betters the world for the people. Proud to declare that the Shakti scheme has delivered over 600 crore free trips to women of our state from the very first month. He goes on to list out the 5 guarantees that he has delivered on. Is that a cryptic message from the Chief Minister reiterating his performance as Chief Minister in the context of the political churning that's playing out? I'll have many more questions to our expert panel right outside the Vidhan Soudha here, but let me quickly go across to two old colleagues, RK Upadhyay and Dakshinamurthy, both senior journalists, joining me from outside the Vidhan Soudha. Very briefly, what do you make of this tweet, RK, post on X, RK Upadhyay? No, I hold the mic. Okay. I'm like Siddaramaiah. I don't let go of the chair. I don't let go of the mic.
Okay, it's fine. I think both of them are becoming wordsmiths now because there's nothing much else to do. Because they have been waiting for High Command's, diktat. They have been waiting for High Command to call them to Delhi. Apparently, it's not yet come. And I don't know whether this supposed meeting happen.
I'll give you a lot of time to discuss about the meeting, but I just want a very quick response on this post on X. Would you read too much politics into it, or is this just a bit of the fun side to this whole battle?
The tweets hide a larger truth, which only 4 or 5 people know, as DK said. So that's what it is.
Who are the 4 or 5 people who know that truth, and what's going to happen next? We'll figure out. I have Syed Asad Abbas, Anurag Naidu, my colleague Ritu Rajpurohit, and the BJP's Ashok Gowda joining here. Waiting patiently. They may have to wait till the end of this term because the Congress would suggest that they are firmly in a position to control the situation. But let's take you through what DK Shivakumar wants and what Siddaramaiah wants, in a sense, to set up what the conversation should be around. DK Shivakumar, as you know, has been pushing for a change of guard. What he wants, according to sources, is a categorical assertion from the High Command of a possible transition of power. It need not be immediate, but it has to be a transition of power at some point of time. He also wants the transition to be smooth. He wants the support of the different MLAs because he knows very well that Siddaramaiah commands the support of a majority of the MLAs, which is why he was made Chief Minister in 2023. So for a transition of power, DK Shivakumar wants the assurance of the High Command and the writ of the High Command to ensure that it's going to be a smooth process altogether. There must be multiple confabulations that will play out on that side. As far as Siddaramaiah is concerned, we believe that he is pushing for a deferment or a delay in taking any decision, at least till the budget next year, because his focus is on setting the record for being the Chief Minister for the longest duration in Karnataka, a record currently held by Devraj Ars. That's a record that Siddaramaiah, the Ahinda face of modern times, wants to replicate and take over. Now, Siddaramaiah also has been pushing for a cabinet reshuffle, and the assertion from the Siddaramaiah camp is that they want all the MLAs' opinions to be taken into account before the High Command arrives at a decision. So this battle, as it plays out in the Congress High Command in Delhi between Kharge, Rahul Gandhi, we're still waiting for word on when Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar will be called to New Delhi. We believe it could be on the 29th, but there's no confirmation of that as yet. But as we go to our panel, and just before we get the voices from around, let's listen in to the power players of the day. Let's listen in to Siddaramaiah, DK Shivakumar, and perhaps the man with all the cards close to his chest, Mallikarjun Kharge himself.
High Command has not called me. They called me, I will definitely go to the thank you. For High Command has not called me. they call me, I will definitely go to the right building.
Thank you.
ನನಗೆ ಯಾರು ಕರೆದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆ ಇಂದಿರಾ ಗಾಂಧಿ ಅವರು ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ 50 ವರ್ಷದ ಅಂಗನವಾಡಿ ಅಕ್ಕಾಪಡೆ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇದೆ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮುಂಬೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೊಂದು ಖಾಸಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಇದೆ. ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈಗ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ಹೋಗಿ ರಾತ್ರಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ.
ಒಟ್ಟು ಮಾತಂತಾನೆ ನಡೀತಾರೆ. ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾರೇ ಆಗಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗಂತೂ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗಂತೂ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ವರ್ಕರ್ ಆಗಿ MLA ಆಗಿ ಈಗ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಬದಲಾಯಿಸೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅಂತೂ ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ದೂರಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಗರಣ ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಡಳಿತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, MLAಗಳು ಅವ್ರ ಪರವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸುವಂಥ ಅಗತ್ಯ ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲವರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಏನು ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಪದವಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತವ್ರು ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವರು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವೇನೇ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದು ಸರಿ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಪೂರ್ಣಾವಧಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ, ಪೂರ್ಣಾವಧಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವ್ರದ್ದು 5 ವರ್ಷ?
ನಂಗೆ ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ತಗೋತಾರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅನ್ಸೋದು ಖಂಡಿತ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ 5 ವರ್ಷ.
That was Yatindra Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah's son sending out that message. From the camps, it seems very clear where the two leaders stand. But is there a third force that's also in play here? What's going to happen next? Let me first introduce my expert panel standing outside the Vidhan Soudha on a cool setting of winter evening here in Bengaluru. Nice, you don't wear a sweater here as yet.
No.
And I'm going to try and get you a coffee in a bit. Ramakrishna.
Please, we have been waiting for it.
He's waiting for coffee. Ramakrishna Upadhyay, Syed Asad Abbas, Anurag Naidu, nicely dressed in a sweater, the only one who's dressed for the cold. You are also nicely dressed in black.
Thank you. I plan to. I certainly plan to.
You plan to do what?
Yes, to dress
You
up
plan
well.
to go on mourning?
Dress up well and hope that...
You're a Siddaramaiah supporter and I know that.
You're right about that, and I can bet you that he will complete his full term of 5 years to be the longest serving chief minister.
He doesn't have to complete 5 years to be the longest serving chief minister.
By
Two
February.
terms will happen.
February it's
and I
enough.
can tell you, the might of the Ahinda leader that he is Veera, the might of the Kuruba leader that he is, being a tallest leader, a Vokkaliga leader, only DK Shivakumar would not hold the front because there's also Devegowda, there's also Kumaraswamy, there's also Ashwath Narayan. Okay. So therefore, I would say the MLAs, the ministers all stand by Siddaramaiah, and if he does not do his full term, this will be my last appearance on the show. This will be my last appearance on the show.
If he doesn't do full term, I will know that only 5 years down the line.
You will see that.
Okay. Syed Asad Abbas has drawn first blood, but Dakshinamurthy, what's the sense you're picking up in terms of the fact that there's still no clarity about when these two leaders are going to be called to Delhi? Do you believe that there will be clarity before the 1st of December?
I'm looking at this entire issue as something, as a kind of a crisis within the Congress, and the fact that they came with 136 seats, and one expected a completely stable government. Somewhere along the way, I think they really need to work on how they are behaving themselves. After all, the people are watching them all the time, and I think they should resolve this most amicably without much of a fuss. But it doesn't. Right now it's at a tipping point. It can either end amicably or it can just blow up. So I'm just hoping that the Congress leadership has some sense to ensure that they somehow resolve this in whatever manner. It really doesn't matter whether it is Siddaramaiah, DK Shivakumar, seriously, because people voted for the Congress party, not for either of these two leaders.
But you're making, you're saying something very complex. You're saying resolve it, but somehow resolve it. You're not offering a solution. RK Upadhyay, the fact is, and the core question is there a solution? Because from the 2023 campaign onwards to that fascinating result that the Congress has had, this question of DKS versus Siddaramaiah has dominated the media. It's dominated the caste arithmetic as well in terms of the result. Is there an easy way out at all for the Congress?
There is no easy way out. There's no easy way out when there is a friction like this. But the fact is that these two are there, and everybody believes that there has been some kind of a compromise, saying that 2.5 years each. So if that is so, the High Command should now hand it over to Shivakumar. How do you go about it? There is a way to work it out. So you can't ask Siddaramaiah to vacate tomorrow or day after. So it's going to take some time, and then you have to get both of them to the table and then discuss what is the roadmap. So that can happen only when the High Command gets involved. The High Command has been most reluctant to get into this, and I don't know whether this supposed meeting on the 29th is going to happen at all, because Sonia Gandhi, I suppose, is going to come only on the 29th, and the Parliament is starting on the 1st of December, and if it doesn't happen before December 1, this might get postponed. That is the tragedy of Karnataka. If they don't sit down now and come to some kind of an understanding as to when Mr. Siddaramaiah will hand over power to
But there is no full-blown crisis, some would argue. But anyway, I'll get to that point. Whenever Ritu Raj Purohit starts typing on her phone, I get worried, because I don't know what breaking news she's going to put out, and I don't know whether she's got any confirmation as yet. From the time we started the show till now, Ritu Raj Purohit, is there any breaking news? Is there any confirmation you're giving us of the 29th, 30th meeting?
No, Veer, I'm basically trying to understand whether that, we have DK Shivakumar getting any hints from the High Command tomorrow, because what we do know for now is that he's going to head for a private event in Mumbai, and then whether he's going to be back tonight itself, he's not going to be back tonight, then probably, the politics then in Mumbai probably might begin. You never know what happens at point in time. So I was just trying to track that for you, Veera.
All right, you're just trying to track that the route to Delhi may be going through Mumbai. That's what you're trying to say. But let's see what that plays out. Before I get to Anurag Naidu, let me get to my friend Ashok Gowda. Boss, whether it's the Congress or the BJP, the reality of Karnataka is that you cannot have one stable chief minister for 5 years. That's the proof as far as the last 3 decades is concerned. Would you agree? It's only the Congress that's offered 5-year terms.
No. Only from the beginning of the Karnataka, that is including 1947. Only K.C. Reddy, then after that Devaraj Arasu. Then it was even S.M. Krishna completed the full house term, but it was 5 years. Before 5 years, he called for an election. Then Siddaramaiah has completed the term. This is the reality of Karnataka. But more than that, see, we are concerned about 3 aspects. First aspect is, the power tussle between the Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar is costing on Kannadigas. That is entire Karnataka people. So this is a big cost we are paying. For example, the farmers' issues are not getting solved. Even whether it is Mekkejola problem, or whether it is a sugarcane problem, or even whether it is a wheat or any other problem, is not getting solved. And even farmers are fighting for their rights. Nobody to go there.
Sir, I just have a post on X from the Chief Minister detailing that they have delivered on 5 guarantees. Hang on. The point that they are making.
Especially, I recently saw a statement by D.V. Sadanand Gowda, who's a former Chief Minister of the BJP here in Karnataka. He has said that they will give full support to DK if he wishes to come through. So I'd like to ask the BJP spokesperson, sir, is that your plan? Is your plan to destabilize or give us support, in the words of D.V. Sadanand Gowda?
Are you trying to destabilize? That's what
our stand is very clear. This government is a curse on people of Karnataka, and we want to bring down this government because we want to save Kannadigas from this curse. That is our stand. Point number 1.
But you're not going to be able to bring down the government given the numbers that they have. So you're watching from the sidelines.
No, our agenda is not to destabilize the government, but if they want to fall, we will welcome that, because Kannadigas are cursing the government. That is our problem.
Hang on. Ramkrishna Upadhyay, you seem to have been first off the book to get the coffee. He's already doing cheers with coffee. There, Murugan has brought, is this tea or coffee, Murugan? Tea. You are serving tea in a cool winter evening in Bangalore. Please have chai. I mean, if we've got chai.
Bangalore is all about coffee.
Bangalore is all about coffee. Anurag Naidu, you don't want to have tea. But what's your sense? Who's going to end up having the political coffee in Karnataka?
Oh, it's a very interesting question. But what I'm more concerned about is the policy paralysis in the state of Karnataka. Offices are not happening, files are not moving, government seems to be on a standstill. And whatever happens, I think we have one important point that Congress party has to acknowledge, that over the recent couple of years, they've been crying foul that media doesn't cover us, media doesn't give due importance. entire national media is after the Congress party, भैया कुछ decision बनाओ. This is a time to set an example.
भैया क्यों decision बनाए यार? They have the MLAs, they have the decision. RK Upadhyay, let me ask you this question, and let me just be fair to the Congress and ask you this question. And I get your point, and I'll get to that point. I want to know that the Congress has given a chief minister. You all are saying there is a crisis. There's no MLA in resorts. There is no problem. There are two leaders who are categorically expressing their desire to be chief minister. Absolutely. It's not as if DK Shivakumar has threatened to pull the plug on the Congress government, or you don't have a bunch of MLAs who are turning around and saying we are withdrawing support. Why is there a sense that there is a crisis in the Congress? Is it an unfair assessment?
No, there is a crisis because the two top leaders are not getting along. And DK Shivakumar has made it very clear that it's time for him to take over, and Siddaramaiah is not budging. So that is why there is a crisis, and it is time for the High Command to make them sit together and discuss this issue. Otherwise, this will prolong, and it will have a very bad impact on the Karnataka's affairs. So now we already see everything has come to a standstill. So that is not good for Karnataka.
Is that true, Dakshin? That where RK Upadhyay, the BJP is alleging that there is a policy paralysis because there is a problem in the government and there is a political tussle. Is that true, or do you believe that the government has actually delivered on the promises that it came to power with?
See, there is definitely this personal rivalry that is going on between Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar.
You're not having chai? You refuse to have chai?
No.
After sunset?
Not for now. I don't want chai pe charcha now.
You don't want chai pe charcha now, but I'll tell you what's interesting. Hang on. No,
Press club just opposite.
Yeah, the press club is right there.
A lot of clubs are there. Behind is a Century Club.
Full of...
They're Bangalore Club.
There are a lot of clubs here. There's a political club right behind us.
Technology Club is also there.
No, but I'll tell you what. I saw Priyank Kharge leaving from the cabinet meet this evening, and when I asked him 2-3 questions, he said only one answer. Not now, not now, not now. I don't want to answer. You're saying not now, not now, not now for your team.
So, the point with administration, let's face it, administration is carried on by bureaucrats. Really, the way politicians fight, more often than not, they are involved in their own activities. Right? So it's the bureaucracy that runs the show. So that continues to run the show.
We live despite politicians, Mr. Ashok.
See, I'll tell you, on October 31st, there was a civic NGO. I attended a seminar, and it very clearly exhibited that 3.767% is the development work which has happened in the past 30 months in Karnataka. That is point number 1. Point 2, they are saying that even in the coming days, even if they go at the same speed, there will be 17% growth which will happen in Karnataka. That is implementation. Siddaramaiah, I saw the tweet. He is saying about Shakti Yojana, about only 5 guarantees. What is happening to the Anganwadi Karyakartas? What is happening to the Asha Karyakartas? What he promised? And what is happening to the guest faculty? 35,000 guest faculty is vacant today. Almost close to around 150 schools have been closed. So there is no answer to all these things. Policy paralysis.
There is an answer, sir. Karnataka under Siddaramaiah and Congress government is the second largest contributor of the GDP. Not just that, we have outpaced the national growth by 6.2%. Agriculture has grown by 4%. Bengaluru continues to be the startup capital of India, and not just that, we are still the Silicon Valley of the East. The fact, let us understand, even the yojanas that you speak of, Nari Shakti, Yuva Nidhi, Anna Bhagya, and so on and so forth, have been great, have been absolutely great. More than 20,000 crore has been spent. So therefore, when you speak of policy paralysis, it's not the case. Numbers.
I don't want this to go on policy paralysis, because we will have that discussion when the Karnataka budget is presented in March.
Exactly.
But the question now is, will it be Siddaramaiah who will present the budget? He is pushing for that.
Absolutely.
So do you believe that the only course of action for the Congress High Command is to call both leaders, make them sit down, send out an optics of unity? Again, whatever agreement happens between the 5-6 people, allow Siddaramaiah to continue at least till the next budget and then revisit the decision. Do you believe that will work with DK Shivakumar?
I think so. I think that's what is going to happen, because budget is now going to be in February. So just about 3 months away, and Siddaramaiah is bent upon doing that, and he wants to get that record of breaking Devaraja. So that is going to happen. So these two are going to happen. So at least to that point, will the High Command be able to tell him, can you step down after that? So if they have to get that assurance now, not later. So he might want to push it and say that I'll let you know later. But I think Shivakumar wants to get that assurance that, look, at least by March, April, I'll be able to take over. But then what happens is, see, another round of elections are coming. Kerala elections in April. Tamil Nadu is coming. So the High Command will say, look, let the elections be over. We will tackle it later. So that's been the problem as far as this crisis is concerned.
So Anurag Naidu, do you see this being perhaps just round one, and that the real round will get played perhaps in April, May next year, not immediately right now? So there is no sense of instability right now, or do you believe that there will be some kind of precipitation of the situation here?
I think, Veera, the cat is out of the hat. I think you can see the open fire. I mean, right from the day one, when this hectic parlays of 2-3 weeks, Kaun Banega, 2.5, this is the first time when we see this, the fight is out. So the party needs to do something about it. Then there is a national media, there is a national coverage. People are waiting to see what party is going to decide, and they have to make some decision. There are two possibilities. Either there is a cabinet reshuffle or there is a change of guard, whatever it is. But Congress party has to decide one thing, that they need to decide about a leader who's going to get them elected in the next government. The question is not for records.
No, but
the question
that's
is
still 3 years.
but they need to invest on leaders. If they don't invest on leaders, who is going to get you elected?
Because they have invested on leaders all along. It's much like the problem that the BJP...
Kumar, in his words, has said Veda Vakya, and he said that my words are sacrosanct. He has said that Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji will complete his full 5 terms, and we will work under his guidance.
So Mr. Siddaramaiah post on X, and I read it again. A word is not power unless it betters the world for the people.
I'll give you 2 examples. I will give you 2 examples how crisis brews in Congress party. Every leader, whether it's Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh, every leader says that we follow the High Command. Unless the High Command takes a decision. Once the High Command takes a decision, they unfollow the High Command.
But I
They follow the High Command. They follow the High Command till a decision and unfollow the High Command. Do you believe that the writ of the High Command, Dakshin, and looking at the Congress, and given the kind of numbers that the Congress has here, while the BJP could be fishing in troubled waters, ultimately the number that the Congress has, which is 137 MLAs at the moment, including, if you include the support of independents, it's 140. It's a brute majority in the assembly. Do you believe the High Command to be stronger with this, or do you see that post Bihar, with this kind of situation that's playing nationally, the High Command is in a weaker position to take decisive action as far as Karnataka is concerned?
It's as far as Karnataka is concerned, the Congress is pretty strong. There's no doubt about it. But there is also a paradox here. Even in 1989, when the Congress got a huge number of seats, about 171, there was a lot of dissension, etc., etc. But point now is, of course, it's a different scenario now. The Congress is on a weak wicket across the country, and they have Karnataka, they have Telangana. And so it's up to the Congress, and I think they are probably aware of this. That, you know, if they make a mistake here, they will lose one more state, and and there's no guarantee when they'll get it back. So
they lose the cash cow. As far as Congress is concerned, Karnataka is a cash cow. You know, this is a state on which they're depending on to fight the elections. And then, Karnataka has been, especially Shivakumar, has been the, the money bag as far as the Congress party is concerned. And if you lose out Karnataka, then, the Congress will find it difficult to even fight the elections.
We'll bring down the numbers for you, Veera. If you look at MLAs, majority of MLAs stand with Siddaramaiah. Ministers, MPs. So the power might is with Siddaramaiah. DK is a master strategist, but a veteran administrator.
I disagree with you. I think Siddaramaiah is an equally good strategist, and I think as far as the High Command's writ is concerned, the sense, Dakshin, is that whether it is a Satish Jarkhioli, whether it is a Parameshwara, whether it is any of the others who are defined as Siddaramaiah loyalists, the influence of the High Command would be crucial even on them. Do you see Siddaramaiah holding out till the very end? Do you see him refusing to let go? Or do you believe that there will be some kind of compromise that he will be open to perhaps post the budget next year?
in fact, this is what eventually I think will happen. The leadership will try to convince both these people that it's a question of the future of the party itself, not just for Karnataka, even probably for the country. So I think from that point of view, things might resolve itself. And if you look back at the time when the Congress won 136 seats in 2023 and all the confusion that happened, it suddenly ended and DK Shivakumar became conciliatory because there was some kind of an understanding. And I think right now the issue is it will get resolved and the party will put a lot of pressure on both of them to their good sense and to their political acumen. Basically.
Ashok Gowda, take out your BJP hat for the moment and wear the politician's hat. And also wear the politician from the old Mysore hat. And tell me what the impact of this decision is in terms of Siddaramaiah versus DK Shivakumar. Do you believe the Congress is categorically in pole position in terms of numbers? This is an internal battle which is playing out and the BJP is over amplifying it because it does not have another issue to take on the Congress. That the Congress, as Dakshin says, could very easily, amicably sort out this issue.
See, BJP has lot of things to play for, and we are definitely doing that. But as you said, I will definitely put on hat of the old Mysore analyst. So I was an analyst before joining hands with BJP. So I will tell you, maximum seats for this time in a old Mysore region came for Congress. The reason was DK Shivakumar went and asked, you are given power to lot of people. After Kengal Hanumantaya, it was Deve Gowda and SM Krishna and Kumar Swamy. Give me also the pen and paper. I will definitely write something for you. That is the reason that most of the JDS votes or the BJP votes, including where we are all from. So most of the seats went to Congress. The reason was, let our person become chief minister. That was the reason. So now, once DK Shivakumar is not with the not going to become the chief minister, definitely the old Mysore will reconsider their thoughts and votes. I'll also tell you one thing: in the coming 2028 election, JDS and BJP coming together has consolidated lot of vote banks or the vote factors.
Now you are now making, and thank you very much Ashok Gowda, I must appreciate you giving this perspective, because often in this personality battle, Dakshin, RK Upadhyay, Syed Asad Abbas, Anurag Naidu, this reality of the old Mysore region is lost. Why did the Congress need these two faces to go into that election in 2023, and what led to that massive mandate for the Congress party? It's the fact that the Ahinda vote along with the Vokkaliga vote consolidated behind the Congress party. What would the optics be if DK Shivakumar is denied throughout this term?
No, I will tell you, the Congress will break. You see, but for Shivakumar's working very hard at that time, they wouldn't have crossed 130. I'll tell you, they wouldn't have been short of a majority, because they got 90% of the seats from this area. People of this area thought that Shivakumar will become the chief minister, and that's the reason why, apart from Siddaramaiah's ego, that also helped. That's the reason why the Congress was able to do so well.
Our Siddaramaiah loyalist wearing black is saying, no, I'll get to you once again, Syed Asad Abbas. The caste equation is often forgotten when it comes to personality power play. But I think from the Congress High Command, that's another major issue, right? Keeping the Ahinda vote intact without alienating that, and then not again sending out the bad optics to the OBC Vokkaliga caste is an important aspect for the Congress to keep in mind.
See, there were a set of circumstances that happened in 2023. The BJP had failed miserably in during their rule. So that was also one reason. And then what happened within the Congress was that Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar were already rivals, but they put up a show of unity. And there was a combination of Siddaramaiah, who's considered a mass leader, and DK Shivakumar, who's organizationally extremely strong, very good as far as strategy was concerned. So it worked wonders for the Congress. Probably even they didn't expect it. I mean, the kind of result.
That's right, very quickly.
Yeah. Siddaramaiah ji, the mass leader, like Sir said, I agree with him. Kittur Karnataka, Kalyan Karnataka, North, East, South Karnataka. He's a mass leader known as Mannina Maga's son of the soil. DK Shivakumar, like said, is a great leader, organizational leader. But when you get to the ground root level with the masses coming in, Ahinda, Kuruba, and the fact that more than 100 MLAs swear by him to become the chief minister, and the strong cabinet ministers, Satish Jarkiholi, Parmeshwar, and Zamir Ahmed Khan. The list goes on. So therefore, when you keep a balancing act, the power for Siddaramaiah to continue is a lot more.
But also there is a question of transition in the party.
No, he's been pumping for Siddaramaiah to continue, but I don't know. Siddaramaiah will be very, very happy to listen to this, but not Shivakumar. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, I think the High Command will have to step in and resolve this, and I think Siddaramaiah should be allowed to, present his budget and give a date, timeline when he's going to step.
Having heard all this, Anurag Naidu, where does this leave Rahul Gandhi?
I think the buck stop. Wait, I will call you. So it leaves it there. I think he has to make an important decision. Veera, the point is, was DK Shivakumar not the Congress party president when they went into the election? Did they declare Siddaramaiah as a chief ministerial pace? What was the equation all about? And if a leader, whether it is Siddaramaiah or DK Shivakumar, if the question is, was the promise made? It is very easy for Kharge or anyone to say, nahi kiya, khatam, end of the story. Was the promise made?
Making a very important point. The clarity that needs to come from the High Command, and I'm sorry to my guests here because we're also joined by Rashid Kidwai, because I thought there was an emphatic need for a Delhi voice in this conversation. It can't just be Bangalore, because ultimately the decision will be taken in Delhi. Rashid Kidwai, two things. Do you believe that it's time, even if this issue is not settled, for the Congress High Command to come out in open and state whether there is a transition deal that was agreed upon in 2023 or not, and what next in the state, not just for the next few months, but for the next 2.5 years?
Thank you, Veera. I think to respond to your question, no, the Congress High Command is unlikely to admit that there was a deal, or Congress High Command is unlikely to act, in a decisive, drastic manner. That is not their style, that is not their politics, and that would not suit them. They have a saying, "Thanda karke khao," let it cool down. So what they're going to do is to persuade Siddaramaiah to see some kind of, reason in the elections of 2028 or Lok Sabha election of 2029. And remember, DK Shivakumar is a major fundraiser for the Congress. I mean, this is official, unofficial, open, secret, whatever you want to call it. So the Congress leadership is under a lot of pressure to accommodate DK. So they are working on two fronts. One is to soften Mr. Siddaramaiah to vacate seat of his, choosing maybe 3 months, March, April. According to me, it's going to be in May 2026. And tell DK to, stay calm, not to speak to media, not to, offer any kind of threat or something that would vitiate the atmosphere. Because remember, DK does not have numbers. If he had majority in the CLP, we would not have been talking all this. So therefore, it is a very, the Congress is battling on many fronts, and there are of course other players. That 2-3 more contenders are there, and more interesting and intriguing is the role played by Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge.
Right, important point that you make there, Rashid Kidwai. Thanks very much for putting that in perspective. To my panel who's here, who couldn't hear what Rashid Kidwai was saying. Rashid was saying that he expects the Congress to not take a decision because things are too hot. They would want to cool this situation down and defer the decision to another point of time, but send out an optics of unity before the 1st of December. Do you believe that's what's going to happen?
I think there is too much of media attention on this. They want, this media heat to go away, and then they can sit down coolly and then take a decision.
Let me get to that question of media attention. Is this media attention because we want to give attention, or are the leaders fueling for this attention?
See, right now, if you take the media, it's it's a combination of things. Number one, a Congress party or a Congress government is in trouble, and the media will definitely give all the full play to it because it works into the to the advantage of the BJP. So that is definitely one reason why the...
But aren't they fueling it with cryptic statements? Why go out and keep making statements left, right and center? You have Satish Jarkioli. I take the point that you're making. But then why make statements? Iqbal Hussain goes to Delhi and says 200%. I mean, is it because DK Shivakumar wants to repeatedly send the message that he is still in the power play? Don't forget me.
See, there is an issue between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, no doubt about it. And probably there was an arrangement for 2.5 and 2.5. So he's just insisting that this should be honored. That is at one level. But the fact that everybody is behind this and then makes it a big thing. Like for instance, though a fellow panelist has said they are waiting, the Congress High Command will wait for the situation to cool down. It will not cool down.
It will not cool down. But anyway, Ashok Gowda, if you were to bet today, and you put on your hat as an analyst, very nicely you explained the importance of the caste equations there. Now, if you were to again put that same hat as an analyst and bet, who would you think will be in charge of Karnataka over the next 2.5 years? You think it will be categorically Siddaramaiah, or you believe there will be a change?
See, believe me or not, if the power change does not happen before 8th of December, then there will be a session. After session, there is a Dhanurmasa. After Dhanurmasa, on 9th of January, Siddaramaiah is going to complete his term. Then budget will come. After
his term, essence, hit his record. You mean hit his record?
Yeah. After budget, then it will be Tamil Nadu, Assam and all elections. After that, then there will be a August month wherein the BBMP elections, ZPTP election will happen. After that, then there is a UP and Gujarat election.
So you're saying there is a never-ending wait if it is left now. Would you agree, Syed Asad Abbas, very briefly?
I'd say, honestly, Veera, the Karnataka has just begun. There is so much more to come. But let's hope and wish whatever the best for our beautiful state of
I
Karnataka.
thought we were in interval space. You're saying it's just begun.
No, I think, Veera, this is one important point. I think this is an opportunity for the Congress party to re-establish its credibility for the leadership. That why does it always get so difficult for the Congress party to call a change of guard? It is only when the High Command is weak. When you have to send a message, entire nation is watching. Take a call and send a message. The High Command is strong, still alive. For BJP, do you know who is the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh? Bataiye. Chief Minister of Rajasthan? Bataiye. Orissa? Bataiye.
That's not a great trend as well. I mean, some would argue about that.
Organization, Sangathan has to be on the top. It cannot be about the people. It has to be about Sangathan.
No, but the same accusation was put against the Congress when they started replacing chief ministers because of the High Command.
Look.
Anyway,
Political comments.
No, I agree to that.
But if you see the last 2 decades,
I
Congress has only
agree
failed the
with
state,
him to the extent that anybody can become the chief minister, and as long as he has the merits. In Congress, the problem is of the leaders, and with big egos, and the High Command it cannot handle them. Whereas in the BJP, they know how to handle them. So that is the difference. That is what I
But
think.
we are forgetting how the BJP had to struggle with Yediyurappa at one time when they're out of power. If you're out of power in Delhi, then Bangalore becomes difficult to handle. Perhaps a lesson for all political parties. I'll take a very short break. When we come back, the panel is still raring to go at each other on this political conversation. Take a short break now. We'll be back in a bit. To this conversation we've been having outside the Vidhan Soudha on a cool winter evening in Bengaluru, bereft of coffee. Unfortunately for us, we'll try and provide that coffee and bhaji for tomorrow's conversation, because I think we're going to be having this conversation for a long time, for many more days to come. But Rashid Kidwai, who's joining us from New Delhi. Rashid, you made a very important point before the break, saying that you'd expect the Congress High Command to wait for things to cool down. But the panelists here on the ground with me are telling me it's never going to cool down till it's settled. What do you think is going to be the next course of action? Do you expect a meeting of Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar with Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge and KC Venugopal in New Delhi on 29th or 30th? Or do you believe that won't happen?
I think this will all happen because there will be a series of meetings, and basically, a face of unity would be presented before media. You can always blame media, but I don't think media is a culprit here. See, the things will escalate if one of the sides, lose patience. I don't think Mr. DK Shivakumar is going to, lose patience in a hurry, because he knows that at least Sonia Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi are on his side, and Rahul Gandhi is still sort of favorably inclined. He may not say it so. And Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge also, because of an eye on his son's future political career, he also wants to keep DK Shivakumar in good humor. The disadvantage of Mr. Siddaramaiah is that age is not in his side. If you talk about will Congress contest elections under his leadership in 2028, many of my panelists may not agree. Similarly, would he be a sort of face of the Congress for Lok Sabha elections in 2029? Again, the answer would be no. So therefore, DK represents present and future. I think last 24 hours, a lot of people have told him, a lot of people, the well-meaning people who he is in touch with the Congress party, they have gone with the same message. Please keep quiet. Please, lower that scale. Don't go on the overdrive. The media will destroy your chances. All these things are being said. Therefore, you see his pronouncements have become little. Though he did tweet, and that tweet was I found it was quite profound. But short of that, I think he's also taking it easy now.
Right, you're saying he's taking it easy now, but you're saying he won't lose patience. No one's going to wear out, is what Rashid Kidwai is saying. He's saying both sides will play till the brink that's there, which means the media is going to have to come up with multiple headlines day on day. You see, for both television editors and for newspaper editors, the toughest job is to come up with a good headline. You two veteran journalists, what's your headline for tomorrow, Dakshin?
Is it Rahul column for DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah?
Is it Rahul column? There comes the newspaper editor with his headline. You?
Stalemate, 8 column. Below that blurb, will Congress High Command wake up before it goes stale for Congress.
Wake up before it goes stale for Congress. You see, journalists are great at giving headlines, and these two are veteran editors. Anurag Naidu, you want to try your hand?
Slightly from a business orientation, one more failure or the biggest turnaround story for the Gandhis?
Oh, one more failure or the biggest turnaround story for the Gandhis. Well done. Ashok Gowda, do you have a BJP headline for the Congress?
Word is a word. Word is a word. That is the headlines for tomorrow. You mark my word that tomorrow will be word.
You're playing with words, I say. I see Ashok Gowda. You're an analyst. You're a BJP spokesperson. You're also a wordsmith, I say.
See, what is happening is today's it has reached its peak. One side DK Shivakumar putting up a post saying that word is a world, as well as Siddaramaiah countering that. So this is where it stands Congress. See, till now, probably till yesterday or today morning, it was a different story. Today it is out in public that I am not going to leave, nor do I am going to give up. So this is where the Congress party is. As my friend said, the Congress party is, it's a testing time for, not for anybody else. It's a testing time how the decision is made within the Congress or within the core committee of Congress. See, the chief ministers were made by the wish and will, even of Sanjay Gandhi, who was not even holding any power. So that was a kind of the Congress party it was. Today, even holding a LOP, even holding an AICC, or even holding a supreme power in Congress, they are not able to do. And this is a very unfortunate for democracy itself. I could say that, see, at the end of the day, yes, I am part of BJP and we are criticizing every day. Congress also considerably has a vote share in Karnataka, and it is good to have a decent opposition across country. So Congress has a decent opposition space across country. At the same time, if Congress loses Karnataka, believe me or not, as today KJ George has said, it is a matter of time where Congress will be.
But sir, taking you word for word, I don't think the Congress is losing Karnataka anytime soon. You will have to wait the whole term, and the BJP also has its own internal problems to deal with. But very briefly, Dakshin, as we sum up this discussion, what's the big takeaway for the Congress High Command to keep in mind? Is it because 2023, many believe, was a fantastically coherent campaign by the backroom managers who beautifully stage managed Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar together outside, not letting any rivalry come out in the open till the results were out. But since the results, we've been only speaking about this rivalry that's played out. Whether it's a media creation or not is another story, but the fact is that there can't be so much smoke without fire. What's the big takeaway for the Congress High Command? What do you think is the biggest factor before the Congress High Command as it takes a decision on this?
The Congress party right now, between the rivalry between DK and Sidhu, has what it basically shows is that the Congress is looking very much inwards. It's time for the party to look out and look around, see the context in which they are today arguing or fighting, and then take a cogent call. Else, it's, I'm afraid, curtains for the Congress probably.
You're making a very important point. Ramakrishna Upadhyay, final question to you. Anurag Naidu has left. He's gone off. I think he's gone channel hopping. All the channels are outside the Vidhan Soudha in Bangalore, like all the politicians and the MLAs. But tell me,
Karnataka's tragedy that even after such a massive mandate, the Congress party is not able to give a proper government. This is a real tragedy because we have
You're saying they've not given a government. They're saying they've given government. It's you who's creating the.
Look, we have seen SM Krishna's rule. And I think he's one of the best chief ministers who had a vision for the state, vision for the city. And then he's the one who brought the state back from the depths it had gone into. Now, these senior leaders and getting this kind of a mandate for the people are given, can they not work together? I mean, that's real tragedy for Karnataka.
You're making a very important point. Final word to the BJP?
No,
that would be unbalanced.
See, definitely we want to bring down this government, but not by toppling it, by the curse the kind of the Congress government has put on Kannadigas. Leave that apart. I wanted to get into Ramakrishna Upadhyay's this thing. See, it was SM Krishna who feared a lot of things in terms of economy or in terms of the city's growth. Same SM Krishna, on February in the budget of 2000, he said white paper and the kind of the budgetary things which happened from 94 till 99 when Siddaramaiah was the finance minister. He said it very clearly. He has destroyed Karnataka's economy. That is what it is. Even today he is destroying it. That is why we want to bring down this government.
Or the Congress, and the counter argument, since there is no Congress spokesperson, I will say that the Congress's counter argument is that they have delivered on the welfare promises. They have delivered a safe and stable government, whereas the BJP, whenever it had the mandate, has only been doing management of MLAs and has never been able to get a majority in the state on its own. So the BJP still has a long way to go, is what the Congress would say. Obviously the BJP is putting another point. No, I've already given you 30 seconds. I have to have the last one.
No. Because you questioned this. See, 36%. No. Look at this.
Rahul Gandhi is moving from 30 to 60. But I guess this conversation will go on. We'll have conversation over coffee. We'll try and offer even Congress bun to everyone when we have the conversation next. There is a fantastic dish called the Congress bun, very local to Bangalore. We will have this conversation go on because this political situation doesn't seem to be finding a conclusion anytime soon. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out in New Delhi. In all seriousness, that meeting in New Delhi would be crucial, perhaps this evening or tomorrow, on determining the road ahead as far as Karnataka and Bengaluru is concerned. That's all we have time for on the Southern View this evening. Thanks for watching. News and updates continue right here on NDTV.